G'day, this is Doug from Hewson YouTube here, and we're going vlogging style today with another YouTube news segment. This is news that's come out of from a Twitter feed, a Twitter post that I saw earlier today, and we're going to discuss that. I'm going to probably go through some of the Twitter posts here with you, and we'll talk about this. Now, this is all stems out of Linus Tech Tips got a community strike on their channel in the last 24 hours or so for advertising their WAN show, which broadcasts on Twitch. They did like one of those pop-up things where, hey, we're streaming on Twitch. That a lot of gamers do as well, because a lot of gamers game on Twitch. They live stream on Twitch, but they post videos on YouTube. So a similar sort of thing. And there was a question that came up. We're going to look at the exact wording of that question. We're going to pop on over to the Twitter right now and discuss, and we'll be right back at the end. And looking for your comments and opinions down in the comments below at the end of the video. Stick around, we'll be right back.
I came across this particular tweet when going through my Twitter feed this morning. Tweeted by Bone, who's possibly a gamer. Tweeted YouTube, somebody else's tweet, T9 still got examined, that FAF9 people, you got to get handles that can be pronounced. But basically he asked Team YouTube to confirm this. The post said, also YouTube is now giving community guideline strikes to anyone who advertises that they are streaming on Twitch in a video. They're enforcing this. And so he, Bone asked Team YouTube to confirm. Team YouTube came back with this. You can absolutely create videos that promote or link to Twitch. However, as stated in our community guidelines, if the main/sole purpose of the content is to drive people off YouTube and onto another site, it will likely violate our spam policies. So what I did is I actually went into the original tweet and looked at the follow-up. Now there's a follow-up post here from Team YouTube. It says, example, could be no audio/video/other info, just a link to another site. And it was an appreciate your response, means more than you know. And this is interesting. I started scrolling through the feed here, and then Ghost Rooster posted an interesting post from Linus Tech Tips. Everybody knows it's a very large channel on YouTube, probably one of the biggest tech YouTubers out there. And there's basically they are mad we are publicizing our stream on Twitch. Yet another move towards YouTube owning the audience rather than creators having control of that relationship. To be clear, these guidelines have existed for a long time. The enforcement is new. Now I went in and showed the thread from that tweet from Linus Tech Tips, and it's a varying amount of opinions on this subject, and it's also he's got a link there to the spam deceptive practices and scams policy, which you can look at on the YouTube helps page. It's all there. You can Google that quite easily. I might even have a link in the description below for you guys. This is that same thread from the same post from Linus Tech Tips, which was a follow-up to this one from 9 hours earlier, or 9 hours ago from when I'm recording this, I guess. YouTube continues to clamp down. Just got a strike for posting a video letting our subscribers know that WAN show is live. Obviously they do their WAN show on Twitch and not on YouTube. And it says, yes, this action makes me so motivated to stop streaming on Twitch and switch to YouTube right now, /sarcasm. Okay. Got a lot of likes on that. There's people who are taking both sides, the YouTube side and jumping on board with Linus Tech Tips as well in regards to, interesting thoughts. There's two ways to look at this, and it's not cut and dry, but we know that ultimately YouTube's community guidelines are there for a reason. Whether or not they've enforced it previously, I think that's a moot point myself, but let's have a look. The first guy who responded said, that's mad. It's Dan Bennett, of course. If they're starting to enforce this, why not go, hey, can you stop this, before even going down the strike route? YouTube, please. And then he got a response saying, well, because strikes are warnings. They only have consequences if you accumulate multiple within a set time frame. Just like these warnings, while I'm not agreeing with YouTube's policy, it'd be quite ridiculous to give warnings for warnings. Linus Tech Tips responded incorrect. A single community guideline strike prevents you from streaming, which is correct. That's absolutely correct. Our account has already been affected. Team YouTube have jumped in here with the same, what I read out before. It's pretty much the same. It's a different tweet with the same text, with the same example. And then a follow up here from Team YouTube. The key difference is content that has no information, no audio, no video, no description, etc., other than links to another site. You see it in a lot of these with gamers. They'll say, hey, we're streaming on Twitch. Come and join us right now. On the screen it will say such and such gamer. It'll be a picture of the game or whatever. They might put streaming now over on Twitch and have their Twitch link. So basically that's directing people off YouTube. So that's what they consider spam. And it's spam. It's not spam from repetitive posts. Well, I guess it is, because every time they go live, they're posting this same or similar thing. So if you do it multiple times, that would definitely be considered spam, I would imagine. So interesting response from one of the Robaz Tube says, so me dancing in the toilet, singing a song about going live on insert streaming platform whilst including a link in the description is fine? And then YouTube comes back and says, you do you. Whatever that means. Some interesting thoughts and interesting concepts here. We've got a few more to go through here. We get stupid things like this one here. It says, I think YouTube is just trying to get rid of all its creators. Now, that's a stupid statement. You got to think logically. If they got rid of all the creators, then who'd be creating videos? Tim Stewart Jimtax says, the key phrase in their terms is main purpose. Given the volume of the content on the Linus Tech Tips channel versus the one link a week saying check out our long-standing live show and its long-standing location, it should be abundantly clear that the main purpose is not a violation. I can see, well, I'm thinking that YouTube, when they're saying main purpose, the main purpose of that specific video, not the main purpose of the channel. Lamar Wilson says, I see their point about driving traffic off YouTube, however, versus a strike, why not do what Facebook does and just not give the post any views? That will ultimately show that this content is not desired and the person will eventually stop posting it. Scott Chicken says, just to confirm, the enforcement isn't new. This has been happening for a long time already. Or for a long time, sadly. I guess it's only just hit Linus Tech Tips. Jamal says, from what I would think of the policy, it would be to prevent people from going to sketchy sites or inappropriate links, not necessarily other streaming platforms. Onto another site doesn't specify streaming. I think they goofed up on the principle of the policy. Brendan says, I have never seen this issue arise with other streamers. Because not everybody publicises it when they get a strike. And not every channel is as big as Linus Tech Tips. Interesting a thought here from apparently Cafton or Cloven Life. The issue probably more that the same or near same clip was re-uploaded. Posting/streaming a quick talking points vid would be more than likely avoid the strike. That makes sense to me. Mustafa says, why be mad at a company enforcing a reasonable policy that was in place while you knowingly went against it? Being mad at the policy itself is absurd too. Why should a streaming service allow promotion to another streaming service competitor? Netflix would promote Amazon Prime. Fair point indeed. Will Green offers a interesting point of view. Forgive my ignorance, but I've always been curious why you use the Twitch platform for WAN, which is Linus Tech Tips live show, when you're primarily a YouTube channel. I'll freely grant that YouTube streaming isn't optimal, but is any streaming platform? And somebody responded, likely because they paid him money. Yeah, Twitch probably paid him to come over and do it.
Very interesting Twitter feed there. A lot of opinion and a lot of emotion regarding YouTube's enforcement of one of their long-standing community policies. In the end, it's YouTube's platform. They get to choose what to do. How people react, how the community reacts, well, that's up to each individual. What are your thoughts about this? Why don't you put them in the comments below and we'll discuss further. Keep it civil. Everybody has an opinion. Anyway, this is Doug from Doug Hewson YouTube. We'll come back with more YouTube news, tips and tricks on this channel later in the week. This is Doug from Doug Hewson YouTube. Catch you later.